So welcome to Fifth House. Here we talk about timing, astrology, and also the life through food and creativity. We are going to have the two creatives here, Caitlin and also Tyler, to talk about their timing and also explore what is their next in their future.
A lot of friends recently have been going through breakups or divorce. I have some older friends who are going through divorces. Someone was like, oh, it's the year of the snake. And I didn't really understand what that meant and how that related to the divorce. But then someone was going into the deeper meaning of the fact that it's like, it's the shedding year. So they're like, everyone's shedding the skin. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And then we started talking about birth years, whatever. And so Tyler's like, oh, everyone has a birth year. What animal are you? And I'm like, I don't even know my animal. So he looked it up and I was a rat. And I was like, ew, I'm not a rat. And then Tyler was like, no, he told me about the race that they had. And so the horse was supposed to win the race and then the rat jumped on the back because it's strategic and competitive. And then last minute, the rat jumped forward and won the race. And I was like, oh my God, I'm such a fucking rat because I'm so competitive but I also think I'm smart and strategic. So I feel like I would think to jump on the back. I literally hate losing.
What is your guys' spirit animal?
That's such a good question. I don't know what my spirit animal is, but I definitely identify with rat. Fully.
I think we can look into your chart right now because there is a little clue about where you guys are different rats.
I'm ready for mine to be shattered because I found out when I was home for Christmas that I was wrong about the time I was born. And I'm actually basically wrong about my entire chart.
How'd you get that wrong? You just remembered it wrong?
I remember when I thought I was told I was born and I was in high school and it was before there was CoStar and you could Google a little chart and I looked up this time in this location. And it told me that I was Cancer, Leo, and I'm only my sun sign is correct.
The sign I know, this person is Aries. First, this person speaks really fast. Really? They all speak fast. A lot of my Aries friends speak really fast. They pick up thoughts really fast and they express it without filter. And then
There you go. That's our girl.
The second is they're competitive. There's no one compete with you at the moment, but my intuition tell me, oh, this girl is competitive.
I'm not competitive with friends
No,
or other
yourself.
people. I'm competitive with myself. And then if I'm in a challenge, I'll be competitive with the challengers.
The only thing I know about Saturn Return is that Ariana Grande talks about it in her most recent album. That when you're 29 and you have to start facing things you've been hiding from and everything starts to come to a head in your 29th year.
There is a moment in life when execution becomes more important than dreaming because you have execution in your responses and growth become heavier than excitement because you have growth in your responses. Been happening for you
It's been definitely the most exciting year of my life for sure in terms of me starting to establish myself professionally. I would say I spent the last 3 or 4 years assisting people, working with Caitlin really closely, and then working with Jim Moore, also another stylist. And then this was in the last year. I didn't really assist anyone. I worked at GQ and that started going really well. And then more than anything else, my social media following started to really gain some traction. And people started watching my content and liking my content. And now it feels like I have people looking at me. And this year is about how I execute on that and turn that into a business.
Oh, so you want to turn the recognition to business. Okay, that's why you say execution. Because I was wondering what kind of execution you were wondering.
Let's kill someone publicly, no?
Because I think so much what I was doing in the last year was just like, I've got to get myself out there. Whatever works, works. I made a promise to myself after Caitlin told me that she saw a TikTok that said, if you post 1 TikTok a day for a year, you'll never worry about money again in your life.
I guess there was an era when people were posting on TikTok every day of their life, like Victoria Paris kind of people, that they grew so fast from that then they were making money on TikTok. But she was saying basically that is one way to go. That's no longer the case because now there's been harder to grow on TikTok. But basically that if you post your audience will grow enough that you will have a built-in audience that you can then execute on whatever you want because you've earned that audience.
And so what I was doing was just posting every single day. Whatever it took to get something up, I would post it. It wasn't as intentional as I could have liked it to be, but that wasn't the goal.
What caused you emotionally?
Doubt, which is a good thing to expend with. The one thing I didn't have was time to overthink it. I was working at the same time. It was just like, it's just got to go up. I've got one take. I can't overanalyze, overthink, which was a blessing in a lot of ways. Because at the beginning then it could be just really like whatever is going up and it's just to have it out there and to have people watching me every single day. And I think at the same time, my intention for this next year is to shift that balance to more thoughtful content, whatever that content looks like, less of just posting something for the sake of posting something and more posting something that adds value and is meaningful to my audience.
What does that mean to you?
I think stuff that I'm proud of, things that I've put more work into, definitely a Substack, longer form written content, because all the content I'm doing on Instagram right now around shopping and fashion, it feels like the box is too small for what I want to do. I need somewhere where I'm in a long form way speaking to my audience. And it really, I think, is a place for my most engaged followers, people that really want to talk to me and talk to each other, because I think I am part of a small but valuable demographic of financially irresponsible gay men who love to shop and love fashion and love runway fashion and want to talk about trends and who made this and just love looking at clothes and talking about clothes. And there's not a space. If there were a space for that, I would be subscribed to it and in that space. And so I want to create that space for the followers that really care about what I have to say about shopping and how to put clothes on.
We can look into your charts and dive into
Let's.
how do you leverage that recognition. So for Tyler, you have a lot of 7th house. We have top houses. So the 7th houses mean you are partnering with someone else. It's mean one-on-one partnership. Either you are consulting with somebody, a client, working with them closely. You have a lot of 7th houses in your Venus and also in your Mars and also in your Mercury. So it really means you can use that 7th house energy to do this personal consulting with your client. I'm pretty sure whenever you build that long form content, you build the trust. And then I felt like someone will hire you as a personal stylist to have your opinion on
I get so many
personal
inquiries
shopping.
about that. You do personal styling.
Personal styling.
I don't know anyone that actually does that anymore.
Not to categorize things as gay or straight, but like, I feel like you appeal to both audiences of like, there's no sexuality. Like men like the way he dresses, but maybe the straight male audience doesn't find you as well directly. They find him via their wife or girlfriend.
I think your goal is really just turn your taste to standard. Because your midheaven is in Virgo. Virgo is all about systematic, the method that you share with everybody.
I'm so at the whole Virgo and the methodology and the organization structure. It's so anathema to me. I'm not good at any of that stuff.
But you were when you were assisting. You need to pretend you're assisting yourself.
You honestly, to be totally honest, you think I was? I'm just not an organized person.
I think you are. I think we tell ourselves lies. I think you're organized. Look at all your snacks are organized in pouches in your backpack.
Fair.
You've got everything about you're much more organized than me. You're pretty organized.
Because the midheaven doesn't mean that you're owning that skill just yet. It means that you're becoming that.
Oof, I need that.
Because my midheaven is in Leo is all about performing and just express yourself. I'm slowly embracing that identity about the Leo part of me.
This is still a performance.
I think this is a form of performance. For you, it's not about what kind of skill you own right now. It's really about what you're becoming. And then I think the Virgo, it actually makes sense because
You're so right.
making content needs a little bit of
Organization. It does, and it has none right now.
yeah. How do you get inspiration?
Basically from myself, what interests me, what I'm excited about, other people that I respect and admire their taste. Movies, I love movies, but I think it is really what I'm drawn to. I've always thought about when you think about how you want to dress, or do you ever make a mood board or pull references? For me, it's just always like whatever feels cool and right.
It depends. Situationally, I do. Like I'm going hiking next week in Sedona and Grand Canyon. Well, Sue was like, we're gonna go hiking. So I'm like, what's the hiking look? So I did start to pull hiking look references because I'm like, that's out of my wheelhouse. So like, I'm not just looking for this Instagrammable moment. I'm looking for what speaks to me. So I'm still filtering myself within the references and what I'm in the mood for. Currently, I'm in the mood for red or whatever. There's still a vibe of what I'm currently in the mood for. I'm just gonna buy Solomon's because everyone's wearing Solomon's or something.
I'm never on Pinterest. I don't go on Pinterest to look up inspiration. Again, I don't really know exactly where my inspiration comes from. And I mostly was just like, okay, Like got pictures of what the places look like to get colors that I thought I wanted to wear.
In the movie.
Yeah. And then they're like movie stuff. And then basically built from there. Like the kinds of colors, this is what feels cool, this is what feels right. But I think it definitely comes more from within me than anywhere else.
When I'm like on every day, it's all kind of regimented and it's very like obviously the call time and you know what you're doing. But then the days that I'm offset are like that I really need to like get done, is like to invoice, to pull things, to get inspiration, to send creative decks, to do all like the stuff you need to do for your job. And I would find I'd have so much to do those days, like for so many different clients. But then I'd also want to work out and do this and like do personal stuff and launch a Substack, do all these things. And like I find that when I'd wake up with these like offset days, they would also kind of feel like days off. So I would wake up and know I had all these things to do and be like, all right, I'm going to do emails, I'm going to do this. But it was so loose that I would wake up and not really know which one to tackle first. And I would waste a lot of time debating what to do and how to structure my day. And so I started just being like, and the other thing was like the gym, like for instance, I would always put it off because it felt so long to like get the gym to work out. And so like, I think I saw a TikTok that was about like ADHD. I may or may not have, I don't know, don't like to diagnose myself, but I do resonate with a lot of things that people say. And then was like, he was talking about like, do you have piles of laundry that you just like don't fold? And it's like always, and that was so me. And so I listened to this TikTok because that was the hook. And he talked about basically like if you time out how long it takes to fold your laundry, it's about like 7 minutes. So you put it off because you think it's this big task. But if you just realized it was 7 minutes, you would just budget for that 7 minutes and you do it and it'd be so much easier. So I started being like, okay, so I went to the gym and I was like, how long does it take me to, from the time I leave my house to the time I get back to the gym? So once I realized that that was 2 hours, so I walked my gym, my workout, come back. So I started scheduling my day like every hour, which feels very, like I said, I'm not a Virgo at all. Like it's very Virgo to me, or maybe I am, but like I helped me knowing like, okay, wake up at 7 to 7:30. I'm going to do my red light mask, wake up, get my coffee. Like I like coffee, like all that I'm putting in there. Then I'm like, so there was one I sent him the screen grab for an example. And he was like, I love that you have like scary was the first hour. And he's like, what are scary emails? And for me, scary emails are like invoicing. I don't like anything that's non-creative. Like the creative it is, that's the scarier it is for me. So money things, scheduling things. So I do my scary emails first. And then it's like, okay, the emails, which are like sending texts and is this. So I block out like everything to a T down to my bedtime each night and folding laundry, all those things. Just knowing like an amount to the task has really helped me be able to move and like do day. I realize how much more time I have when I'm not just sitting there debating. Or like I would have a lot of events at night. They'd start at like 7, 6. And I'd be like, well, I need to start getting ready at 3. Like it felt like the whole day had to revolve around that. And I'm like, no, you can actually get a lot more done when you like know how much time. So I started to block out every day. Like
when do you time block the next day?
I tried mostly the night before.
Got it.
But I try to do like any bigger things. Like now trying to, for the new year, my resolution is trying to like really make sure gym and bedtime is in my calendar every single day.
I learned about that method when I work in creative agency. So this company need to budget the time from the moment you enter the office, getting ready, the email thing, 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, you cannot do this at all. You need to move on to another task. That was really helpful.
Yeah.
Because you probably spend like 2 hours, 2 emails. Because you're debating, oh, what kind of emails?
It also gets you in the right headspace. It's like, okay, this is scary email time. And also like, I think so used to like multitasking. And the more I keep hearing like multitasking used to be so like lauded. Oh, you're multitasking. It's actually like really unproductive multitask. Like you should one task, focus on it, finish it, and then move on because our brains are so, at least for me, my brain is so potentially ADHD that like need regiment to focus on the different blocks of time.
Same. But
I
And
only
all
want
of
things
those
that
things.
would have, I guess, practical application in my life.
do you
Those
know
feel
why?
like-
Because your moon is in
Capricorn?
Yeah.
Wait,
Even this really fascinating because you're really into fiction and your moon is in Aquarius. So Aquarius is all about being in your bubble.
All my signs are very in the head. Cancer, Aquarius.
You have your Sagittarius rising,
So it
dreaming
is.
of-
And what are Sages? They're dreamers? Ah.
yeah, such a dreamer.
Dreamer, doop-doo in the head.
He also have a Cancer in your Mercury and also the Gemini, your Jupiter. You have Aries Sun and then you have Capricorn Moon and you have Aquarius rising. But he has Aquarius Moon.
So what are the qualities of Aquarius and Capricorn? I don't know anything about them.
Aquarius is tend to be more care about innovation.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're a boss, I would say you're a human person. You care about the people surround you and then you want to nurture them. You don't want to treat them as you're a boss and you are the person you work with me. You're more like a friend situation. Your moon in Capricorn, and it's in 11th house. It really means you care about people a lot, especially your community. That challenge your sun a lot because your sun it's actually in the first house. First house is all about.
Well, can I ask something? Is Aries always in the first house, or is my Aries in the first house? That's something specific to when I'm born, or that's Aries is always the first house. I'm with the house part.
So it's related to what time you're born. It doesn't relate to the Aries. Some Aries can be located in the 6th house depending on the time they born. You have Aries in your first house in your sun, meaning your main ego is actually care a lot about yourself, but your moon care a lot about people. So sometimes you create the conflict. I don't actually feel comfortable about this, but this person doesn't feel good. Should I say yes or no?
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel that early a lot.
Like you tend to maybe say yes to something quickly and then you regret it.
Oh my God, that's the story of my life.
What I would say to further improve this is for work, probably make a contract before you commit to something. Since the Jupiter is at your 5th house right now, I think it's really amazing to give birth to a creative project or something you want to start brand new.
Is that definitely with work, or is that with relationships, or could that be anything?
I think work mostly. So because your charts is encouraging you to have more yearly contract rather than a project-based contract.
We're talking retainers, honey.
Yeah.
Or could that be with myself, focusing more on my own projects? Because I've been feeling a lot of restlessness amongst like wanting to do my own stuff. And then I come home and I have like 5 different clients chasing me for things that I'm overdue on in terms of like sending them pulls or decks or whatever. And invoices, like all of that I just get through that, and I barely have time to work on anything for myself. And I keep resenting that and being like, okay, I'm going to say no to more things and work on myself. But it's hard to say no to a guaranteed paycheck in lieu of let me invest in myself and see what happens.
Why do you
know?
want to invest in yourself?
Just doing more content and more sharing my own between Substack, TikTok, Instagram, just like working on my own content more.
I think that could be your long-term thing for yourself because I look into the both system from Eastern and Western. You are very much having the aura that make people feel safe, and you should use that characteristic to create a container for yourself.
I've started on that. I've started to get on TikTok more now, so that's using my face and
Use that face,
just
girl.
need the money to come from that.
And then we can see how do you communicate. So your Mercury, it's in Aries and it's also in your 2nd house. What does 2nd house mean? It means you are more care about the physical thing, like how you touch, how you feel, and how you create the sense of security for your audience. I think you show people like how you dress before a certain condition, right? Like certain events. I think that is something that you tell people. You can dress in this and you feel safe. So functionality and your face in the community is triangle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So physical things
Mhm.
with fashion, yeah.
Yeah, the fashion. You need to give that things a function. And your midheaven is in Sagittarius. So the middle heaven, it means what is your highest version, how you share your value. It's more on a broader perspective. Why do you choose this is the most important. The why versus how.
And what is Sag's qualities? Because I don't know about Sag.
Sag is me, foreign country, the philosophy, activity.
I always say all the stuff that Caitlin doesn't ever want to post is the stuff that would make her famous on social media.
What do you mean?
What's that?
Like all the behind the stuff of you, like how funny you are and how silly you are and all of those things. And like also like neurotic about you, you know, like of you that feel like more like your why, you know, than your how.
Yeah, yeah.
Would people really see you?
I don't know if you know, what's his name? Like the head of Instagram.
Adam Mosseri.
Yeah. He posted this whole thing about how basically how Instagram has failed to catch up with how AI, basically everything looks AI. So with that, all the perfectionism, he's like, we already were feeling like the feed was failing, this and that. He's like, but now more than ever, like people who are speaking to camera, basically doing things that AI can't do. Like AI can be you. That's the only thing we have left. And when I read that, I was like, okay, this is more than ever, like not caring, not like about the perfection. Like perfect is boring. You can do that on a computer now. So be your weird, authentic, messy self, you know? But that's hard, I think, having grown up in our generation that was like, I don't know, everything was it was perfect, and then Instagram was perfect, like photoshopped. And industry is so like, you know, tiniest stain on the tablecloth, you like want to take out of the picture. Like, I don't know, every little thing. Like on the here, I was posting a photo of myself, and Tyler was like, "What are you doing to your ear?" And I had the mirror had like a stain on it, and it was right above my ear, and I like was face tuning stain off of the mirror for like a one story I'm posting. Like, I'm crazy. I need to let that go. That's yeah.
So I went into your midheaven. It says your real strength is turning taste into standards. Your peak is in doing less, but letting every decision define
Quality.
And also, where does the wealth coming from? And it's coming from advisory roles. Means, yeah, you need to be more decisive. The creative and also the content system and the quality control.
I've been telling you, you need to, all the people that reach out for a gifting and all that, you need to be like, I want to do more consulting for you. Well, consulting.
Yeah, more consulting work. And the most important thing is strategic partnership, because you have a lot of seventh house that I mentioned. A lot of people doesn't have that much of seventh house.
What's quality control? What would that be?
Examining every decision to
Exactly.
make sure it's quality first.
Exactly. And then you have a lot of seventh houses here, and then you need to really use that seventh house energy to build that partnership. Let's say maybe you have a partnership deal with a brand that give you profit share. That is where your money coming from, because your money is not coming from project basis. It's coming from systematic planning. And then that systematic planning sometimes happen to be like you give this brand your authority and then having your name on this, and then you get the profit share.
I feel like so much of what I'm gravitating towards as I get older is not things that are non-reliant on other people. Like if others want to absorb, like to digest content, but I don't like to really like depend on people as much.
Like not getting approval from other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like collaborating. I do really like working with. The hard part is when it's, you know, I don't approval from someone whose opinion I don't respect. Approval is cool if I like think you're add something, because one of the biggest things for me and a growth moment I had styling this year is like getting away from the idea that my idea is the best idea and there's no improved, and opening myself to feedback and not taking feedback so personally and as a knock against my own talent or idea or a devaluation of what I've done, improve my own work. I do actually really believe in the idea of approvals and have people look at your stuff, but I understand it feels super frustrating and asinine. It's someone who has no business weighing it.
I guess that's the thing, because we all do with plenty of approvals in our life, like in our jobs. Approvals are part of it. I guess it's when you're having to deal with approvals from clients that are hiring you because they truly have no idea.
Yep.
And then it's this person that's like, you know, not a day of their life, doesn't, you know, still brands that are no longer relevant or relevant. Like has context is giving approvals, which is a lot of corporate. I guess that's, yeah, the problem. It depends on who's approving it.
Yeah. I think the person approved my work, it's the most important thing. I need to choose at the very beginning. Yeah, I think making the decision at the very beginning is something I learning. Sort of trust my instinct and knowing that mystery from the conversation that we have. I need to feel inspired. I need to feel my body is relaxed. I think my body tells more about my preference than my brain.
100%.
How do you guys know your body?
I've been trying to learn more if I feel like certain clients, like the ones I was talking about before with the approvals, if every email I get feels like an avoidance where I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to respond to this. Or like, it just like, I don't want to respond right now, or I'm avoiding it, or it causes something, like you were saying, emotionally in your body, trying to realize that that's a signal to me to lean less into that. And there are certain clients, for whatever reason, it could be like the pay right or whatever, they will start to give me anxiety. And I'm like, what is it about this one client? I think it's just so used to like a chemistry thing. Clients hire you and they're paying you to do something, but then you feel this level of distrust the whole time. And you're like, why am I trying to prove myself? Like, you hired me. And so those probably give me more anxiety. And the people that I know hired me and trust me, it's like you do well. And, you know.
I mean, a lot of it is not distrusting my own ability, not doubting myself, because sometimes I feel like anxiety around a job or a client and I'm like, oh, is this not the right fit? And then I realized after I've done it that it wasn't that hard. I enjoyed doing it. They liked it. And so getting to a place of trusting my ability to do things and impress clients and do quality work that people like. Also, I'm not yet in a place where I'm choosing my clients. I'm not turning anyone down right now, which is, I would to be in that place, but I also think it's an interesting place to be, somewhere where I am just grateful to have work and be open to any kind of work and to let the work surprise me. Because I think that is the space in which you like learn about yourself, is when you like accept discomfort, accept that it's not all going to be like, this is how I want it to be, and the communication is how I want it to be, and the workflow is something I understand and that makes sense to me and feels safe. But like, the fear, and realizing that the fear isn't so much that this thing is bad, but it's that as long as I trust myself, then I'll always know what the right work is.
How do you guys trust yourself and trust the process?
I think I've always kind of trusted myself. Going back to like just always feeling like really blessed and happy and like grateful for our general disposition in life is like, I think even a bigger advantage in life that I've been blessed to have is having like parents that like love you and like support you. Probably like too much they gave me, like I could like fart and be like, oh my God, like that was amazing. Like literally like best parent. And I saw that has made me really trust myself, because I just always, and never in my mind that something I could do was wrong, which is like for better or worse. I'm sure I'm probably insufferable in some ways because of that. But I think it also led me to be really like confident in myself, especially in what I know I'm good at. Like I was, applauded things I was good at, which was from an early age, being creative, making things. And so that's what I was good at and what I was meant to do. So I trust myself for the most part that way. And then meeting people that then want to spend more time with you and want to foster those relationships is like, there must be something worth value in me if like this person I think is so talented. Like I think I was the one that suggested you for that job. I loved your work and like was obsessed with your work and sent it. So then like the fact someone I admire likes me and wants to work together again, that is like, okay, I must worth something. So I think like the connections make too give you a lot of confidence and trust.
I remember you mentioned that a brand deal that you did for 30 minutes and the pay off your day rates.
Yeah.
And that was something that you think you should do it, and then trust that decision that you moving forward.
That was, there was basically like this whole wrestling with my own identity, I guess. I'd gotten offered this brand deal. When this collab, all they wanted me to do was do a reel trying on an outfit. Video in general takes about 30 minutes. And I'm like, I made more than my day rate doing one video. And I'm prioritizing the styling work because I don't want it to affect my styling work. So I think I just put a bad label on it that like, oh, but really it's just another form of styling. And if it pays more and it's easier, it's like, why am I not leaning into that? On Instagram, I have like a good followers. I think you do too. And so like, it felt scary to then pivot into like, I didn't want any of my clients, people that follow me to be like, oh, she's trying to be an influencer now, or she's trying to do content. And TikTok was like, I had no followers. It's like the wild, wild west. I'm like, no one see me on there. And it was like exposure therapy. Like the first I put up, I could barely even watch. I felt so cringe. And then once you start doing it, it just kind of like feels a little easier. It just like exposes you to it. And then now I'm so much more, I wasn't confident, but okay with.
I've never rewatched one of my videos.
Well, I dream of that detachment. I rewatched them like 100 times to just pick apart all the things I did wrong.
I definitely feel that like as I'm editing it, I'm like, oh God, but as soon as it's posted, it's gone.
10 times before bed and dream about it.
Really? Oh, wow.
It's a prison I need to break out of.
That's gonna get an oracle card.
Okay. Oh, was it a fortune cookie?
An oracle card.
Love it.
Okay. Oh, it's cracked.
Opportunities often disguise themselves as challenges. Face them boldly.
Mine just says tonight you'll be
The voice of reason. I think you've bring a lot of story this night.
Maybe you and Silver got swapped ones. What's yours, Silver?
Mine is true friends are the keepers of your secrets. Maybe we should swap. This dinner has been really, really special. Thank you guys for coming to join the dinner and sharing amazing secrets and amazing story, being very vulnerable.
How do you say it was delicious?
How do you say? 好吃?
好吃?
很好吃.
超级好吃.
That's amazing for you.